All you Fabricans and Fleshbags to the super, not funny show reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing Season 2, Episode 5 of Raised by Wolves, and the episode is called King. So, was it good? Was it bad? And should you be watching? Episode 5, King, follows on, I guess, the coronation, the takeover, if you will, of the atheist enclave by Mother. We're into day one of the benevolent dictatorship, and as you can imagine, it's completely popular and everyone's sticking around, except not really. But, Mother, she's ever the optimist, and she's definitely going to try her best to keep everything together, but in the meantime, she needs to find all the collaborators who put Paul in danger. And we got to see some real necromancer stuff going on there as she interrogates the former right-hand man of the trust. And he's not having a very good time. At the same time, following on the end of last episode where Father's pet project seemed to come to life, we find that, in fact, this resurrected android of his is standing guard and waiting for, I don't know, something. But she seems to be the only, whatever it is, seems to be the only thing that actually likes Father's jokes. And we also see that that Paul continues to be in a cocoon, and Sue is trying her damnedest to figure out how to save his life. So it even comes down to the point of being in the foxhole and deciding to pray, which I actually find that very interesting. So a lot of the things that's going on in this show so far has been the push and pull of religiosity versus, I guess, more pragmatic, lacking belief in the supernatural, and Sue coming to the point of accepting that there is something beyond and more powerful, and deciding to pray to it, and actually getting an answer, surprisingly. There's a lot of fun stuff going on in this episode when it comes to the, I guess you'd say, I want to call it supernatural, but super alien natural stuff going on, to the point that Sue acknowledging that these aliens got some power to communicate, and them actually, or whatever it is, actually helping out with those little alien leech things going on. So it's very, there's a very, very sci-fi horror theme going on in this whole episode, and in particular when Sue was encountering the leeches, and they were only in her mind, and I could see the beats going on where the alien leeches were supposedly, maybe teleported. But of course it was an illusion, but it was in her suit, and I knew that was going to happen, and it was still fun seeing it happen. There's a great bit where she encounters the little the Aquaman merman thing and got the leeches and used this miracle cure on Paul, and that was all good and fun. But the real good and fun was to see what was going on with Marcus and his little band of true believers. And now that he's got no power, he doesn't have Mother's power anymore, and how is he going to actually keep the group together? And Saul provides, or whatever this alien is that's talking to him and favoring him. When they run across another one of those geodesic temple thingies, just like we saw in the first season of Raised by Wolves. It was really great. You essentially what they're boiling it down to is like, hey, were aliens here, and whatever this alien intelligence is, maybe or maybe not, it had something to do with the life on this planet. We know that there used to be other aliens on the planet, and he manages to get down and follow a tunnel and find what looked like a humanoid alien that somehow wasn't dead but looked like it should have been dead. And there we see the origin of those four-legged, weird running creature things that they were eating for meat earlier in the first season. with their in some kind of interesting transformation. All very cool stuff. I actually really enjoyed. That's the sci-fi horror stuff I was talking about. It was really nicely done. Very interesting. If you whenever you get WTF moments within shows like this, they're doing something good because they're kind of shocking you out of your expectations. So I enjoyed that part. Also, really liked how the Vrille, the android without a face, decided to come back and go ham, and it went straight up from that sci-fi horror dread bit to just an outright slasher film, and it was lovely. Ah, gosh, because I don't really like any of Marcus's posse, and so seeing them, not the seeing the brutalizing, but seeing the horror movie aspect of it, as she tracks them down and takes everybody out, and even tracks down her mother and just serves her up in such a brutal and like just dessert sort of way. I love that. That whole the back half of this episode was just so damn good. And even though Holly survived somehow, I guess because she didn't have anything to do with the mutilation, but just seeing that, just absolutely beautiful. And then watching the it was kind of just a coda to see that Marcus still somehow, some way, survives to see another day, even with that android out there and probably wanting his blood. So he's been stripped of some power and some prestige. He's a prisoner again. There's the babies coming and this weird android that's going on, and there's some weird communication going from an ancient civilization to Marcus now, and this alien. There's so many questions up in the air, and let me tell you, I am loving this. This is my favorite episode of this whole show, this entire show, not just this season. The whole show. It gave me a lot of fun. There's some questions that have been raised. Some questions have maybe been answered a little bit. Paul wasn't super annoying. Nobody was really annoying the hell out of me with their stupidity. And, Sue got some character development. I just overall really, really like this episode. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this. Has this show turned a corner for me? Has it really turned a corner where I'm no longer, one step away from just quitting it? I think it has, and I'm loving it. So anyway, did you guys watch? And if you did, what'd you think? What'd you think about my comments? Why don't you get down to the comment section, let me know what you think. And of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're doing that, hit the subscribe button down there and the notification bell. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks for joining me on this. Come back next week. We're eagerly anticipate episode 6 of Raised by Wolves. Let's see where this show is going. Till then, I have been Mo De Poupée, your resident fabricant and commentary extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.